You're coming by suited up again. I'm gonna put some music on, all right? And I put some music on. We're back there. Let's get some tunes. There we go. Where's the dancey tunes? The dance music is what we play to start this off with, right? All right, dance. There we go. Some dance music. Yeah, the dance music. All right, welcome to Suit Up, everyone. This is a weekly show that we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you catch some app updates, you catch up-and-coming streamers, top badges, people with interesting stories. So if there's someone that you know that has an interesting life or something notable worth talking about, they're just in general just someone that you enjoy listening to, let me know. I'd be happy to feature them and talk about them. On the show today, we have three up-and-comers. One of these people I met in a random battle. And I said, sir, I like you. What are you doing Wednesday? And he said, I'm not sure. What are you asking me? Because I asked him specifically at 9 o'clock. I said, I really like you. What are you doing Wednesday at 9 p.m.? And he didn't know what I was talking about, and that was good. That was good because he doesn't know what he's getting himself into. He's pretty new to the app, and I just can't wait for all of you to meet him because he is a character. He is his own person, and that's what we like. We like to look for that kind of stuff, right? Where's my notes? There's like two. There we go. I've got a lot of windows open. All right. How's everyone doing? This is my festivities. This is my festive gear for today. It's really hot out. I'm not wearing a blazer. It's you have a problem when the first thing you think about when it's really hot is your trading cards. That's the first thing I think about when it gets hot out. I go, wow, my foil cards might suffer. We need to move them to a secure location so that they don't fold. As any of you guys who do collectible cards, if you put them out in hot, humid weather, they'll fold. They'll fold. And they'll wreck the value. Then you gotta put them in top loaders and put a concrete block on top of them and do some rituals and chants and hope that they flatten out a little bit. Because you want to keep that collector value, right? Who caught? You know what? Let's not ask. Because let's go ahead and just pop right into it. We're almost 100. But one more time, let's talk about some of the shows that you can currently catch besides Suited Up on Wednesdays. So on Monday nights, there's Painting Night with Mia. Check the banner for it. All of these that I'm going to announce, make sure you're keeping an eye on the top banner for. There's Painting Night with Mia every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mia brings you all of the artistic skills packed into an hour and a half-ish worth of content where she gives you critiques and techniques on how to paint. I believe the other week was a 3D butterfly. So she had a butterfly and had some sort of oil canvas and made it look like the wings were coming off and actually added an attachment. It was optically just spectacular. I don't know how it felt. That's an alarm. It says, Chris, you should have definitely been live by now. Okay. Thanks, phone. So that's Monday nights at 8 p.m. Make sure you come and check her out. Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Get Fit with Allie and Ashley. They call them the Workout Twins. They have been quarantined, and they said, you know what? Quarantine's not an excuse to get out of shape. And I said, yes, it is, because that's exactly what I did. Did I mean to? No. Will we do something about it? Probably not. Will we go swimming? No, because we're embarrassed. No, own it. Own it. Someone told me that. I have to manifest that I look good or something. Is that how manifestation? Well, okay. Anyway, that's Tuesdays. Get Fit with Allie and Ashley. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Suit Up. That's this guy. That's me. That's what's happening right now. Thursdays, Gorgator, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Carmen, this past month, with it being Pride Month in June, had a different Pride look every week where she took rainbow patterns and sparkles and bedazzle jewels and all of the other cool, eccentric, flashy greatness that you can pack onto a face. I don't quite know the technique, but because I watched it, I now know a little bit more. Carmen also makes her own makeup, so she teaches you how to make your own makeup. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Check that out. All right. Fridays, there's a new show. It's called The Rundown. Who caught the first installment of The Rundown this past Friday? Is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about contests, new gifts, app updates. But the coolest part, in my opinion, is announcing new top badges live in real time. So in real time, you get to hear who's getting their badge. And if they're around, which this past week ran flawlessly, perfectly flawlessly, and all three of the people who got their badge showed up. I'll be honest, we don't tell people beforehand if they're getting their badge. It's not like, hey, don't tell anyone, but you're getting your badge. Show up on Friday. They really are finding out in real time. Could it be you? Maybe. Check your email. As a tip, make sure you're checking your email. You'll get reached out to ahead of times concerning stuff like that. So, and not even just concerning top badges, just in general, keep up on your email. I don't know who's this guy with the tie telling me to check my email. Dad? All right, okay. Saturdays is a theme stream with Holly. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Holly. She puts on a heck of a show full of your favorite characters all coming together. People change their usernames. She puts on stormtrooper outfits. You never know quite what you're going to get. So make sure you check out Holly's theme stream every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's talk about the new gifts. The new gifts that came out last week. First off, you've got the lurker eyes. I think that's my favorite out of all of them. I like to use gifts as emojis. I use gifts as emojis, right? So like I'll use the hearts when people say something that I think's nice. Lurker eyes to show that I haven't left, but I'm too lazy to type hi. So lurker eyes are pretty cool. That's for 250 diamonds. You can give some lurker eyes and let people know you're hanging around. What else do we have? We have the mystery wheel. You don't know mystery wheels are really the best bang for your buck because you have an opportunity to give more diamonds than you're gifting in coins. Let's break it down for you. The mystery wheel is a fortune teller this time around, the newest edition, and you can land on a kangaroo, lightning, a UFO, a sandcastle, or a baller 4x4. It's a baller 4x4. But if you get it, that is probably how you will say that you got the baller 4x4. And that is worth a whopping 35,000 whole diamarundos. That's diamonds for the cool cats and kittens out there. All right, so it's $1,500 to give out. The Wheel of Fortune teller wheel teller. Pride Float is the other gift. It came out last week. It was at $5K. The soundtrack to it is banging. Just put it on loop. Go out to your favorite club. Request the DJ, I want the Pride Float song. They're going to say, what are you talking about? Say, you don't know? And they're officially uncool. So everyone knows the new dance track of the summer. The dance track of the summer is the Pride Float music. Check it out. What else is going on? We had last week another contest. This week, where is it? Let's scroll down. It's Endless Summer, the Endless Summer Weekend Contest. First place takes home 400,000 diamonds. $400,000. 400,000 for top. It's 800,000 combined for both because there's going to be 40 winners. Top 20 males, top 20 females. So it's a male-female contest. So check the leaderboards this weekend. Make sure that you support your favorites. Make sure you support your favorites, as there's a lot of action that happens. These weekend contests are getting nuts. And the millions of diamonds gifted. So an awesome way to show up, show out, and support your favorite streamers. Who caught the loudest and proudest setups? Check the Meet Me Instagram to see the cool setups and winners for the past contest that did not involve diamonds. It involves your creativity and how you went about setting up your live stream. So make sure that you check out the Meet Me Instagram on Instagram, believe it or not. That's where you can find the Meet Me Instagram. In case you missed the top badge announcements for last week, who got their top badge? I'll let you know. The new top badges from last week were Playhouse Whizzle, Playhouse Whizzle, Mercedes got her top badge, and this fellow named Jackson C, who also rocks the tie emoji, he got his top badge. He's actually the suit guy, everyone. I'm just the copycat. So make sure you go and favorite them and congratulate them on their new top badge. Very well earned. Very well earned. It's tough work out there. It's tough work out there. I know as many of you are trying to get your top badges. So make sure you tune in Fridays. I'm pretty sure this Friday there will still be an edition of The Rundown. For those of you who are tagged users, The Rundown was originally scheduled to go live for the first time this week. It is being postponed due to a few reasons out of our control. And so we are going to have to move it 1 week, but do not fret because the same treatment of announcements and top badge hype is coming next week. All right, on that note, final announcement before we get into the first guest. Namaste, if you want to go and request that box, please. Thank you so much for joining us to up while we do these conversations. I do not acknowledge the comments. I do not acknowledge the gifts that come flying by. It's not that I don't care. It's out of respect to the conversations that are happening. So if you can please know that I do appreciate it, and I do notice it as much as I pretend not to. I do. That's a secret. But in the meantime, let's crack into the meat of it. She is a person of many interests, talents, and personalities. She is one of peaceful mind. She is
Hey. You're like frozen a little bit.
She is, we'll go ahead. Namaste, you want to go and request the box, please? Also, when someone's in the box, please get off the hearts. That's, just get off that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give it 2 seconds, but we'll let Namaste get comfy in the box here. The one and only Miss Namaste. Hi.
There you go. What's up?
Go and re-request the box, Namaste, if you will, please.
Sure.
If you'll go ahead and just re-request that box, please. All right, here we go. Third time. It's always the third time's the charm, right? The one and only first guest tonight, Miss Namaste. Hi, there you are. Hello. Hi. Namaste. Hi to you.
Hi.
Hi. That was. This is a really excited hi. I liked that. I could feel the. Hey.
My basic attitude is really chill all the time. So like, hey, is what you're gonna get.
Would that be too extra?
No. I mean, your energy, I like high energy, but that's just my high energy.
My high energy is just to offset the crippling low energy that's in. No, we're manifesting. We're learning the benefits of manifesting. Maybe you'll be able to tell us a bit about it.
About manifesting?
We're clocking in on close to 100 people, so we can just jump right into where we would have been. Namaste. For the people who have not had the pleasure of meeting you, will you please introduce who you are, where you're from, all that kind of fun stuff?
Yeah. So my name's Namaste. Hi on here. I'm from Wisconsin, and I think the hearts are making me lag, but that's okay. I'm from Wisconsin, and I'm originally from Chicago, but I've been in Wisconsin for like a year.
Awesome. And how long have you been live streaming for?
6 weeks, 7 weeks now. Yeah.
7 weeks. 7 weeks. Okay. Well, let's break it all down. So you're originally from Chicago, and does that mean you're actually from Chicago proper? So I know people from big cities or even around big cities will say that they're from the city when they're actually like way over on the side.
Okay, so originally I'm from the burbs, like northwest suburbs of like Illinois, but I moved to Chicago later on because that's where like all the gyms were and everything, and all my friends and school. So I just ended up moving over there.
Got it. What was the appeal of city life? I mean, do you consider yourself to be more of a city person and the hustle and bustle of what's going on, or the name kind of implies to me that you're more of relaxed and one with nature kind of mentality?
Yeah, I've been to.
If we can get off the hearts, everyone too. By the way, apologize to cut you off. If you can get off the hearts, please, I'd appreciate it. Just trying to do some trial and error here. But sorry, I apologize. If you can go on.
No, you're fine. So, yeah, no, I'm definitely not a city girl. I'm more of I wasn't myself when I was in the city. I never felt like myself. I don't know. So then I did some missionary trips, and then after that, I just wanted to like a culture, like, I don't know, just become cultured a little bit more. And I found myself more at peace in nature than anywhere else. And yeah, so I would say definitely more of like nature. I mean, that's why I moved out here, right? All those state parks and stuff. So
Walk us through that journey of who you were into the path of going to the missionary work and being the person that you are today. So how would you like to start? Where would you say the beginning of that story starts for us?
oh man. Okay. All right. So probably honestly, like I said, like when I say I never felt like I belonged in this world, I meant like at like the age of 3 and 5. Like I would sit down and be like, what is this? And I was raised in a Christian home that fed me a lot of Christianity, but for some reason it just didn't make sense to me. And they weren't ready to give the answers to me. They like considered it blaspheming that I would question things. So for me, I needed to figure out who I was. There was a lot of abuse and sexual abuse in the house as well. Sexual abuse by 2 of my brothers and physical abuse by my father. It's really bad stuff. Hospitalized when I was 5 for a heroin overdose. My dad did that to me when he was high. It was a very, very bad situation growing up. And wow. I think at 5, I realized like, okay, this is my life at 5. Mm-hmm. So then I just started looking at things differently right away as a kid. Mm-hmm. And then all I wanted to do was like the exact opposite. I would just think about, okay, one day I'm going to get married and things are going to be different and I'm going to have kids and I'm never going to hit them and I'm going to be kind and I'm going to listen and I'm going to love them. And just my perspective started changing. But unfortunately, later on in life, when I was like 15, 14 to 16, I was sexually abused by my brothers. And that it went from being this kind person to like this person with a wall and very opinionated. And I don't know, just came across like too much, even for myself. So later on, I just realized that I needed to find out who I was a couple years ago, right? I realized I need to figure out who I was before the abuse happened. So I went to school for psychology to kind of understand what was going on and what happened and to understand myself. And then I went towards children's psychology, and then I just went into like pure missionary work and working with kids and just showing them how loved they are every day. Sure. Children in third world countries and stuff.
A lot of sympathy and empathy going on where I'm guessing that you went through many things yourself and wanted to somehow make an impact or positive impact for others that may have gone through something similar. Is that where the mindset was, or this?
Man, I mean, there's no greater feeling that I've felt, unfortunately, than sitting down and feeling like you don't have anybody to talk to, that nobody will listen, nobody really cares about you, you know, and literally that I didn't have any of that when I was a kid. And I had a coach in high school who was an impact on me and made me feel like I was worth something and I was good enough. And I just wanted to pour that into other kids, especially in like third world countries and stuff, but children who don't think that they matter, people in general that don't think that they matter, that nobody's there, right? Like on my stream, when people come on and they're just sitting there watching, I'm not kicking them off. Like maybe they just need something to block something out, or just maybe some positive vibes or something.
Yeah. I definitely follow. Where did your missionary trips take you?
So the first trip was for a cause for invisible children. Is Child Army in Africa. So I went over to Africa, Uganda, probably 6 times, 3 months at a time.
Wow.
Building up like safe places for them to stay and hide from child armies. So I walked with the children, like I slept under the verandas with the children, and seeing that they could smile and seeing that the look in their eyes that somebody cared or somebody knew was like addicting. And I didn't want to go to a beach house and like Florida or something. I became addicted to the spark in the child's eye, even the adults there. I don't know, just it really grounds you. It's an addicting feeling, and that's all I want to do.
Can you give us a little perspective as to what a day in the life was like with these children, or even what their life was like when you weren't around, or what?
Yeah.
Just help us understand, as close as we can, a walk in their shoes.
So there were 3 guys who came to our church, and they're the ones who started off with the documentary. And they fell upon this stuff that was going on with children in Africa. Therefore, they call them invisible children because America didn't know. Mm-hmm. But basically, in a nutshell, is that there's a child army that will steal children from villages, kill their parents, make them kill their parents. Children that are old enough to carry a gun, they will take them to what's called the bush, and they will cut off their limbs for crying in front of their brothers. They will starve them. They will, I don't even really want to get into, because honestly, it's some messed up things, and I don't know.
Yeah, I understand.
But basically, they're forced to go and kill their parents, and then they're forced to be in this army and then go into other villages and kill other, so it's a very awful thing that's going on. So what happens is these children, they hear that the army's coming around to their village. So these children will pack up, and a mom will literally hand her 6-month-old baby to her 7-year-old, and they leave, and they walk, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands. I've walked in a group of 700 children who have all gathered from various places, and they're walking together during the day, and then at night they're trying to find anywhere to hide from the army. So schools will open up so the children can hide in the schools, but unfortunately Uganda is very, very poor, and there's hardly any schooling there. And then you have hospitals that'll open up and lock the children in, but usually it's very far apart. So they hide under verandas, and that's what it is. I mean, honestly, I went there and I walked with the children all day, and then I hid with the children. They still do homework. Some of them still have homework from old school books that they had. So I'm a kindergarten teacher, so I was teaching them and helping them, but mainly I was just there to show them that I care, and I'm trying to make awareness. I brought it to my high school. I raised $25,000 in a weekend. There was a Christian teacher at the school who opened up his math room, and I had I went to a school that they were very wealthy. The parents were wealthy. So $25,000 in 3 days by showing the documentary, buying pizza, telling everybody to just come and make donations. And it went huge, and we were able to give it to the foundation. It was great, but mainly I just like traveling and going back there and just being with those kids, and to see that they can laugh, to see that they can be happy, and then come back to America and hear a girl upset because she broke her nail. I was that girl. Like, I hated on myself for a minute, and it just really grounds you and brings you back to like humanity and why I'm really here and my purpose. So
sure.
Yeah, that's all I do.
Yeah. It's obviously not for the faint of heart. I think it takes a very special person to be able to take a walk and both figuratively and metaphorically do something like that. Congratulations to being the person that you are. When does that take place chronologically in your life, where you had become a teacher and then you started doing that, or you mentioned that you started teaching prior to that? So I started taking courses when I was a senior in high school. I could have graduated early, but my school was awesome and they offered college courses. So I went towards teaching, and then I went to school for teaching, and I really wanted to work with children. So then I also got a bachelor's in psychology, and then I taught for a while, and then I decided that the problems that I had from my past that I always pushed away and that I was numb to were starting to come back. Mm-hmm. And teaching, it takes so much to do. And I spent 24 hours planning and doing fun stuff for my students. So I just needed a little bit of time to just find me. So I moved to Vegas, I moved to Vegas. I was teaching at a Christian school in Vegas. And then I decided to try out to work at Caesar's Palace.
which was freaking amazing. Out of 250 girls, I was one of two to get hired. So that was awesome.
What was
Yeah,
this?
so I
What was
stayed
this gig? What was the gig at Caesar that you had? Can you be a little more? Can you just give us some more specificity as to what you were doing there?
I was a cocktail server, and when I went to apply, there were over 250 girls. They cut off the girls at 250.
Wow.
So I sent them home. I was waiting for like 3 hours in line. Then they hand you a packet to fill out on drinks, pours, garnishes, like everything. You have to put your phone away, and then they collect those, and you're sitting there for another 3 hours while they have a bunch of people go over it, and then you get into a line of half of that, so 100, and you have your very first interview, and they said, "Who wants to go first?" And I was like, "Me." I just sat down, told them it was the only place I was going to apply at, and it was.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I became a cocktail server there.
What was your time like there? I mean, it seems very different. I'm assuming you're serving some of the, I don't want to say privileged, but people who are more fortunate, and you've had this time and experience with people who are at the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I mean, how did you adjust to working such polar positions?
Yeah, it actually was a way in finding out that I needed to ground myself a little bit, because I would be upset if I went in and I got 300 that night. I was upset. I mean, that was a bad night. Mm-hmm. It was very lucrative working there. They wanted me to, my second week into working there, they wanted me to become a manager for food and beverage. So it would be the lounges and the beverage. It was like an $80,000 salary, and I turned it down because it was a pay cut. I mean, the servers there, you're making $700 to, my best experience, I worked in a high limit room, mm-hmm. and they're dealing like Jonas Brothers. I served the Jonas Brothers. I served Rob from Raymond. Like, you get like cool people that you serve. Yeah. Well, there's this one Japanese guy sitting there. He wasn't famous, but he was doing about $100,000 hands on blackjack. And he turns to a cocktail server who was working there and said, "Can you tell me a story?" And she's like, "I have to drop these drinks. I'll be right back." Well, that's a huge problem. Like in high limit, you're not supposed to say no. Mm-hmm. So you're also not supposed to walk up to other people's tables in high limit. But I did, because he wanted to hear a story, and he's not supposed to be told no. So I walked in and I was like, "Hi, you want to hear a story?" He's like, "Yeah, you tell me a story. Any story." He's like, did you go to high school? I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Were you in any sports?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so he made me tell him like a track story, because I was in track. And he goes, "Thank you very much." And he takes a handful of chips, puts them on my plate, and there's $30,000 in chips. Just in one tip.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to believe that your experiences in Uganda somehow paid themselves forward into that, right?
It allowed me to go back. You know, it definitely grounded me, because I had to get out of Vegas, because I was making like 700 average to up. And when I realized I was getting greedy, like, "Oh, I only made 300 tonight." And I found myself angry about that and spending my time being upset about that. I was like, okay, time to go do a trip. And I did a trip, and I came back, and I'm like, I'm leaving Caesars. I've made plenty of money here. Now I'm just going to sit back and really find out who I am, because obviously I'm not ready to be out in public right now, because I'm not centered.
Let's go ahead and start to bridge the gap of how we get to Meet Me. So
yeah, right there.
Where does this all kind of? So Caesars was Caesars and the trip were fairly recently.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we get to downloading and being on this app?
So I went through a very, very hard breakup, and not only that, but lost some people. And to me, I don't let a lot of people close. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I keep a very close tribe, and I don't ever really look for anybody. I just keep it. I don't know. I'm working on myself, and I'm not trying to find anybody. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if it happens, it happens, but I'm not trying. I'm not looking for it. So what happened is, like, that combined with and trying to find myself and like, what am I going to do in my spare time, mixed with I have OCD, which is like compulsive thoughts. Mm-hmm. So what happened is, because I've repressed all my feelings from the past and never dealt with them, they're all coming like now to the point where I like can't stop them the way I thought I could. So I'm like being very triggered all the time. And being alone in my house, I was sitting down like, this is rough. Like I'm in a really dark place. And I opened up, which I never do, but I opened up to my friend Miranda, and she's like, you know what you should do, girl? She's like, you are funny. She's like, you are like the light when you come into the room. You need to go on Meet Me. You are so good at like pouring kindness and love and positivity. Like people need that. And maybe if you help them with that, like you'll get that back. Like just go talk. And I'm like, Meet Me. And I'm like, that sounds like a dating app. I'm not going on a dating app. I'm like, I don't want to date right now. And she was just like, no, just go on there and just talk. She's like, just go on there and talk. So I was just like, okay, fine. And she's like, my sister does it. So just go ahead and do it. I'm like, okay. And I checked out the app and I'm like, oh, okay. Because I didn't even know what streaming was. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm in nature. So I went on and I didn't even know it was considered streaming. I just went on and like put like here for friends and chat and thought that like people would just understand. And I got on and
You mean people didn't listen to that?
Like,
You're telling me, I don't know if I believe that. You're telling me people didn't see, oh guys, she's only here for friends and chat.
well, I didn't know. I didn't. Listen, the way that this was sold to me by my friend was like, listen, there's two separate parts. If you do friends and chat, then they'll know that you're just there. You see, it was sold to me this way, Chris, okay?
Those pants were like blazing on fire. Like,
So I did it, and I got like people who were like so freaking respectful and like positive, and people being like, wow, like I watch these streams and then I come on yours and like I can't like stop watching it. Like you're fun, you're positive. This is like what I like because I come on late at night. So they're like, we're on all night. It's like a good thing to end the night with, and I'm taking that as like a pure comment. So
sure. So you came on, just to summarize a little bit of what you were saying, you came on to have an escape from your own thoughts, to get out of your own head.
Oh yeah, no, it was
have some relief.
It was not even that. Like, let's be real. Like, I'm the first person to say, and I've gotten other people on here for this reason when they're like sad or whatever. I was very, for the very first time, my compulsive thoughts were coming over. Nothing was helping. I didn't feel safe to talk to anybody. And literally in the darkest place of my life, feeling gutted. I mean, that's why I reached out. I feel like it was the last thing in my head to reach out to my best friend. And, like, I'm talking like you have nightmares and you wake up that like it's done to you, and you like, I would be in the bathroom like scrubbing my body raw and waking up because the water is so cold and realizing, oh, like I'm not dirty, like nobody's touched me, like I'm in my house, and like not being okay with it, not having anybody to come to and talk to about it. So when I found Meet Me, people were taking my mind off of it, and it was super funny, and people were telling me like what it was doing for them. And so it made me like want to keep going. And like literally, I know it's only been like 6 weeks, but I feel like I have a family on here, and it's like where I don't have to talk about my problems, where everything's light and positive, but I'm not avoiding it. I'm just like receiving this positive energy and giving it back, and it's just working. Like Meet Me seriously saved my life. Like, I'm not just saying that in like a funny way. Like it really did, because it made me realize what I'm trying to make other people realize is that people are really there to listen, and people care, and people think you're goofy. And of course it's like, I have the lowest confidence in the world, and Meet Me has given me, not because of you're beautiful, you're this, but when people come in and like genuinely say sincere things, like that's like, I don't know, like Meet Me is, yeah, I've referred people to it because it's so good.
I'm happy that you feel that way. I think very rarely do my words not string together the way I want them to. What I'm trying to go with this is that I think that what you may have intended and having it beat those expectations is really special, and that it goes on beyond something superficial. That real relationships, real relief can come through just having someone to listen or someone to care. And I'm really happy that you found that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
what keeps you busy when you're not live streaming? What's your life consist of? Do you still teach now that you've moved? What do you do now?
No, I work out and I go to the mountains. So I'm either in the gym or I'm hiking or kayaking. Like I love kayaking. Or I'm like, I've literally thought about like taking Meet Me to like where I go, like the third world countries and stuff. And like streaming from there, streaming where I go, just like make awareness for like different things. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm either hiking or in nature or traveling or meditating.
Yeah.
I'm just loving my life right now. I'm learning to love me and figure out who I was before the people made me into who I became. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have any more trips planned or things that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. Well, every year I do an Africa trip, so I'll be going to Africa again because I have to do that like every year. But I really, really want to go to the Philippines and help out there a little bit too. So we'll see where it takes me. Yeah. I want to go to a lot of places, Chris. It's too much.
You know, if you're planning to go to Philippines, there's a lot of people on here who would love to teach you Tagalog. I can promise you that. There's a huge group of people that we love. We all love the Philippines here. I've made a lot of Filipino and Filipina friends on this platform. So you're definitely a good company.
Good. Yay.
Yeah. Is there anything that you'd like to highlight as we kind of move into the final portion of our conversation here? Obviously, you've had a lot of life experiences that are unique to you, that have changed your perception on really everything. But is there anything else that you'd like to share or go over or touch on that that's important or dear to you?
No, I mean, I guess just like what I tell everybody, right? I mean, what my channel's about. It's never really like, I'm sorry for like the deep talk. Like I hate being a downer, but usually my stream is light, positive, and I'm just really big. And like, if anybody's to hear anything, just be kind, because even if somebody does something shitty to you, you don't know what they're going through, and your word that you say could be the last thing that just sets them over the edge. In either a good way or like the one word you say could be something positive. So just, even if you're really frustrated with someone, like today I got so frustrated, Chris, let me just tell you. The number one thing that freaking frustrates me is when I open the door for somebody at a grocery store and they like walk in, like
no little nod.
They don't say
little nod, or no thank you, no nod.
No, and I wanted to literally smash the door and break it. But I was like, no. And then I was just like, I grabbed the other door for her. I just grabbed the other door for her, and I just had to. It's better for you just to be a positive person and think great. Like, just do it, it'll come back.
You gotta kill it with kindness.
Kill it with kindness.
Kill it with kindness. Some of the last things that I'd just like to highlight with you. Your name's Namaste High. And you're about manifestation and spirituality. So, what would you say is the beginner's course of this? I don't know. I guess I'll use that word spirituality again. But just walk us through a little bit of how you go through meditation and self-reflection, all of that.
Okay, well, I thought meditation was a load of BS, and I'm somebody that's just like so hard-headed about stuff. And I was like, I have compulsive thoughts. I can't meditate. I'll just keep thinking about things. And I had somebody say, why don't you go ahead and try binaural beats? Binaural beats you can find on YouTube or whatever, and you put in your headphones, plug them in, and there are waves that go through your head, and when they connect, it's supposed to open up like your third eye, right? So your pineal gland, and it makes it easier. So I did it. Everything was dark. I meditated, and it took me about 45 minutes, and I was like, it was a crazy experience. Like, I was just like, okay. And it made me actually feel secure about things that had happened to me in the past, because I was just like, this isn't it. Like, this isn't it. Like, just be kind, just be loving, because after this is done, like, girl, like, just like, there's something else. And it made me like addicted to it. And yeah, like yeah, and so I learned different things. Like I like when I close my eyes, I thought everybody sees color, and I was told that like a lot of people don't see any color, they see black, and I never saw it, and I couldn't sleep because of it. And when the binaural beats took place, there was like at that 45-minute mark, it was like a swoosh of color, and then like a open, and I was like, nope, and I like brought it back. So it was like it built up into like, whoa, feeling like a different level. And when your whole body just like felt lifted, even though you were like down, you just even like felt like you were just somewhere else. And I was just like, I don't care who doesn't believe me. They're fools. Like they're fools.
I'm sure you've piqued the interest of a lot of people. Will you repeat the name of what those beats are called one more time?
Sure, they're binaural. Like
binaural
beats.
Binaural beats. All right, binaural beats. All right. When are you live? So if someone would like to learn more about you, have some time to chill out and just enjoy themselves, when are you live so that they can catch you?
So I'm currently live every night at 10:30 p.m. every single night. Because I like, if you like something, like why wait around for it? Just like keep coming. Like, you know, I'm always here. Like that's what I want you guys to know. Like I'm always there.
Is that Mountain Standard Time?
Central.
Central Standard Time. So 8 p.m. for you Eastern Standard Time people.
Yeah. And then I'm going to start coming on more during the day because of how great everything's been going. I'm like, man, I could do this all the time.
Yeah, highlight that really quick. So you've been streaming for 2 months and...
I think, right? It hasn't been? Dang.
2 months?
Time flies. I think I thought I was like at 7 or 8 weeks. I guess 8 weeks is 2 months. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, Chris.
I was wrong. You haven't been streaming 2 months. You've been streaming 8 weeks. I'm really sorry. My mind slipped. And where are you at right now? Over 1 million diamonds, yeah?
Yeah, I'm at, I think 2.8 was the last time I
checked. You're already averaging more than 1 million diamonds a month. And how many favorites have you been able to hit?
Last I checked, it was 300 or 3,000. 300 and something, I think.
That's fantastic, though. You're really doing well. So.
Oh, awesome, great. Yeah, I have no clue because I haven't streamed, so people have just been telling me I'm doing great. And I'm like, sick, cool, let's keep going.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, I've had a fantastic time talking with you. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and talking about those very personal things. I know that there's someone listening who is better now for it. So thank you very much for coming on tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not favorited Namaste High, please make sure that you give her a favorite. She's going to open up your third eye, and you're going to like it.
Didn't say that.
I don't know. She doesn't coming on Namaste. Much love. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some unfortunate news while that conversation was going. Our farmer guy's not coming. He said there was an emergency, a family emergency. So we're going to wish him the best. We're going to hope that is okay and that it's solved, okay? But that's not our only... We keep 3 guests on lock, so we still got 3. Thank you so much, Kenny. Appreciate that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, congrats to Kenny on breaking... I was going to say, it was just like 2 weeks ago that I said congrats on breaking 100. He's already 106. So... he's definitely king of the mountain over here. Kenny, we've still got to get this figured out too, man. There should be a thing going on right here. Yeah, but we still have a 3rd guest tonight, and she likes pink bows. She's got pink bows, ladies and gentlemen. She sings. She's a talent. She's a beacon of sunshine and light. You may know her as Melly B, though. Ladies and gentlemen, our 3rd guest tonight, Miss Melly B. How you doing?
Hey guys! Hey Chris, how are you doing?
I'm well. I'm doing really well. It's just the bow. You know, sometimes people, like my thing is I wear ties, right? But your thing's a bow.
Yeah.
And that's just so dapper. You know the ladies who have like the fancy hats?
Yes, like the ones at the Derby.
Yes, you are the fancy bows.
Yeah, I actually wait. So people always ask me like if I have more, like do I have a collection? And I do. I actually keep most of mine down here. You know, if I want to change, if I'm doing a really lengthy stream and if I want to change my bros in between.
The bow vibes have to change. Wow.
Yeah.
That is an assortment there.
Bro! Darn.
So Melly,
So just leveled up. That's so
you're breaking all the rules, Melly. All right, so just
No, but there's like a little blurb about each one. So the one that has pearls, it's actually connected to a love song that I didn't write for myself or anybody. It was just a
okay.
cutesy love song, and I actually ended up dedicating it to Johnny Darko and Tater.
Okay. Well, I think that can start our conversation off. So before we hop into that first topic, will you briefly just introduce who you are? Where you're
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Guys, I'm Melly B. I can say I've been.
I think there's some static. We're getting a little bit of static. We're just getting a little bit of static.
Houston, we're going down.
So you said you're Melly B, and you're from what?
Kind of in the DC, Virginia area.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say I've been streaming for 2 months. Wow, time flies when you're having fun, literally.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you've been streaming for 2 months, and you started to tease it a little bit. You said you dedicated a song. You're a musician.
Yes, I self-taught myself guitar for these last 4 years. I took some lessons very briefly in middle school, but my guitar teacher was mostly really absorbed into, his own jam sessions, and my mom was a little discouraged because she just wanted me to have a little bit more potential in guitar since I quit piano at the age of 9.
So music was something that you had at least like influenced or pushed on you from an early age.
Yes. So my birth mom, I know that there are 2 things. She was 19 and she liked music. That's all
Okay.
I know. So I guess it makes sense.
You said your birth mom. So do you mean that your biological mom, that you don't stick around her, that you were adopted, or what did you mean by that?
Well, I'm adopted. My adopted mom, she worked for an adoption agency, and she used to go to South Korea to bring over the children that were adopted by parents in the state area. So she would come to Dulles Airport or Baltimore or, a lot of different airports.
Yeah. Wow. And she found you, and she said, "This one's too special to let go." and there you go.
She adopted my so my older sister is 7 years older than me. She adopted her first, and what influenced that was my brother in nursery school. There was a child named Joy in his class, and he just gravitated towards her. And I believe she was Asian descent. I just don't remember from where, but he was just so attached to her. And then my mom was like, okay, Joy is going to be the middle name of my sister's name. And then they decided they needed just one more. And also when I arrived, I had no hair.
That's
so bonkers.
that's really special, though. That's fantastic that they adopted you, and so you said that you mentioned that all you know about your mom is that she was 19, that she liked music. So
Yeah.
So as far as your biological parents go, no communication.
No, but I was actually during this pandemic. My mom is still working on it too, but I've gotten to meet my foster mother 3 times. The first time I met her, I was 12, and at that time she was taller than me. And then the older I got, the shorter she got.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to meet her 3 different times, and she remembers me as a baby with my foster parent. She remembers that, I was seriously lactose intolerant, and that's why I was so fussy. And still to this day, she calls me her dol, which means daughter in Korean. And she says 사랑해, which means I love you. So
Okay.
she's a really sweet lady. Now she takes care of elderly people that can't take care of themselves. So she's
Wow. Wow. So you're fortunate to have someone who's very selfless and has a mind, a very caring mind. Wow. That's really special. Do you speak Korean then? Or
I wish I spoke more. Korean Air. Anyway, I haven't been back in so long. It's making me miss it, actually. No, but I can say 안녕하세요, 감사합니다. And I can understand enough. I can actually say in Korean. I don't speak Korean. I can say 한국말 합니다. 안 돼요. 안 돼요 means no.
that seems like a good start, though. They just say I don't speak Korean, but I can say I don't speak Korean in Korean. It's like a contradiction, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like it. I like it.
I speak Spanish. Whoa, heart eyes out of nowhere. I speak Spanish. Somebody from Colombia came into my stream when I first started, and he was like, "¿Qué pasa, qué bonita?" Blah, blah, blah. And I had no choice but to just jump in. I don't even remember what was said, but for some reason I nailed it that day back in the month of May.
So you're fluent. You're fluent in Spanish.
To an extent. And then I also have 2 viewers who are deaf, so I sign with them. And I've said to them, thank you for supporting me. You're beautiful. And so, yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. How did you learn ASL?
One of my friends was taking a very extensive class in high school, and she became extremely fluent in it.
Okay.
And I was inspired by her, so that my mom gave me a really thick booklet.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was actually a school that we played basketball and soccer against, but this time they were playing a volleyball game at my school, and I didn't play it, but I stayed after to watch my friends compete. And I remember the refs were saying, "Can you understand me?" Even the coaches, they were deaf as well. And they said,
Wow.
And they said, I don't know. And so I asked the ref, I was like, what are you trying to say? And so I ended up finger spelling, and they said, oh, yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, that's really cool that you have that ability. But let's go ahead and jump back to the music, because
Yes.
would you consider that to be one of your greatest passions? Or I don't want to lead us down a path that's not accurate, but something tells me that it is.
So honestly, so before this pandemic had happened, and before I got introduced to Meet Me, which I did write down my notes, which is why my face is illuminating, so I could stay on track here. I was doing open mics a lot in my area, and it's definitely something I greatly miss. And the specific place that I used to go to, it's in a bar setting. Guys, in the comments, when you guys are singing at a bar, that is one of the toughest atmospheres to perform in, because if you are seriously good and you raise the bar in your voice and in your singing techniques, nobody's going to be staring at their phones. Nobody's going to be chit-chatting at the bar area. And I remember the first time I sang, it was one of my old originals. I got told after the performance, because the spotlights were on me, I couldn't see anything. And so a long timer came up to me and he said, hey, I just want to let you know that this is the first time in a while I've heard this entire bar go silent.
Wow, that's a big compliment. Congratulations. How long have you been writing originals for? How long have you been doing music?
So I guess that's the perfect gateway into all the notes that I
Let's
put them
do it. Let's just go right through the notes then.
Yes.
I'm here for the ride. So take it away.
Of course.
I'll
So
refill my water.
I will backtrack actually into 2013. That was ages ago. That was in dinosaur ages, people. Anyway, I was actually in treatment for 8 months for anxiety, depression, and self-harm issues.
Okay.
I went through a lot of panic attacks. I had a lot of self-esteem, and I hated myself. And actually, after I came home from treatment, I hated my body image. I had an eating disorder into 2014. It was after like 2013 had passed. And I weighed 134 and I dropped all the way to 112 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So for lunch, honestly, I was only eating one thin slice of turkey lunch meat and one long carrot and celery stick. And that was all I had. And there was one day when I was working out and I was like straining myself. And at the end of it, I felt dizzy. I felt like the entire world was spinning, like when I was laying on the floor. Mm-hmm. And I overworked myself to the point where I didn't have anything left in me. And that was definitely one of my breaking points. I was like, okay, I need to stop. I need to start loving myself more. And
just to add a little context to it, what would you attribute that leading up to that situation? You said there's some was it that you had body acceptance issues or what?
So the treatment program that I was in, the other people that were in there, we would always have these accountability groups or RAP groups. I don't know why it was called RAP, R-A-P. It stood for something, but the RAP group was the worst because it was like, let's focus on the negativity and let's nitpick at your strengths and weaknesses for the week and where your tiers are in this program.
Sure.
So I think that definitely was a factor in that for sure.
Okay.
But this is where I go. I have the lows and the highs. I made sure I was putting this in order. So one of my major highs for this year, so going on 5 onto 6 years by September. In September, I will be off of antidepressants for 6 years. And in August, I will be migraine-free for 3.
Congratulations.
And I used to be on prescription meds, for both, the antidepressants and the headaches. I would have to leave work early because of the first onset of symptoms. And the way I can explain that is I could see stars in the corner of my eye, and eventually they would kind of cover half to the point where I would have to shut one eye just so I could see out of like one place. And my words would slur so badly. And I would get these migraines 3 to 4 times a week, but I would take Excedrin just as a security blanket to, keep it off just until I got home. But, the panic attacks would happen every other day, along with the overanalyzing and overthinking and worrying about what other people thought of me. So that was like the old me many years ago.
I said about 6 years ago. And so coming forward to present day, you may be leading into what began the fix, or what was that domino? So where does it take us?
So with the migraines, it was more of like me putting my foot down and saying, no, you're not getting this head pain. No, it's not happening. No, I'm not letting it. So I do keep the Excedrin in my purse as a security blanket, just knowing that it's there just in case something flares up. But I haven't had a flare up in a very long time, and I'm really thankful for that. So it was more like a mind over matter. I think a lot of things were always in my head, but I had to battle through that and realize that I'm stronger than I think and braver than I believe. So
And then so the next piece is that where music comes in.
yes. So this is where I talk about the quarantine a little bit. And then I lead into streaming life. Honestly, for the first month and a half, and a lot of us can relate to this, the first month and a half of this quarantine, I honestly spent my days waking up at around 11 in the morning, and I would eat a late breakfast or lunch, and I would do a couple learning distance videos because my center was closed. I'm a teacher and I work with 2 and 3-year-olds.
Okay.
So we were always busy doing videos. So, I mean, my camera voice wasn't anything new at the time. It was just adjusting accordingly and making sure, if these kids were sitting in front of me, this is what I would do. But then I would sleep again for another 4 hours, and, I'd wake up for 2 only to sleep for another 8 because, I felt like sleep was the only escape, or I felt like time could go faster. Because let's be honest, this quarantine felt so slow.
Sure.
And I did not feel great. I felt alone. I felt like life was, longer. I felt like my days were getting longer. So now this is leading into the Meet Me app a little bit.
Okay. So how do you find Meet Me?
I got a breakup text during the pandemic.
Oh, so you were in a relationship?
I was, yes.
Wow. I didn't know that part. It's okay. So you had been dating someone, and how far into the quarantine did that text come across?
Almost 2 months into it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And had you been seeing this person very long?
Yeah, it was a significant amount of time.
Wow.
And he's a lot older than me.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So she said sometimes. I like that. I like that interjection. He's a lot older than me sometimes. That was good. That was good. Okay.
So I actually I jumped back onto POF. I reactivated it. I was like, screw this. I'm gonna reactivate POF because I can't stand people that won't stick around with me through the good and bad. And I opened it, and I was just really paying attention to my DMs at first on POF, and then again I opened it again one day, and I was like, people are live streaming on here? That's a thing? Yeah. So then I come across Mikey D323. That is where the gang font is in my name.
Okay.
That's where that's from. And I ended up in his stream from POF because he was streaming from there. I think he still does. And the first song I sang, which many of you have heard me cover, was Fix You by Coldplay. And then Mikey told me to come back, and that's when I sang my quarantine love song called Show the World What We're Made Of, which is requested quite often. Okay. And then that's when he dove into the question of, hey, do you stream? And I was so confused. I was like a deer in the headlights. I was like, no, what? Mm-hmm. And he said, download the Meet Me app. Download it. Go over there. You have great potential. And he was like, just get started whenever you feel like you're ready. And then, I'll give you some pointers along the way. And then this is where I dive into the Meet Me journey. Guys, a common theme of emotions that every streamer has felt. One key word is discouragement. It's very easy to feel this way when you first start out because you're trying to get into the groove of what content are you showing? Mm-hmm. And how are you portraying yourself? And, what makes your stream the way it is? And why do people keep coming back for more? Mm-hmm. So I definitely fell into the category of discouragement because I was thinking to myself, am I going to do this forever? Because, man, and another keyword is slow. When you first start out, it is super, super, super slow.
So you had self-doubt. You were worrying about how things would go. I mean, obviously, someone who had gone through experience of a recovery sense. I'll use that word recovery sense. So, I mean, you get to be to this point. So how does that happen?
Well, so I was a new streamer, newbie, and I spent a lot of time live hopping. And guys, I think that's one of the greatest things you can do is you can start out as just a lurker or a side gifter a little bit, just to get the feel of everybody's streams and like who they are and introduce yourself, go into date boxes, utilize those things. Of course, be appropriate. But I remember the day I came across Aaron Kirby. He was doing an afternoon country concert as always. And then I was just kind of lurking in the comments and I said, hey, I'm a singer-songwriter. I just wrote a song about mental health. And he was like, all right, jump on in. So I did, and
was that your Aaron impression?
A little bit.
I really like that. I feel like we all just kind of let that glaze over, but I really appreciate your Aaron Kirby impression. I really appreciate it.
The way he also says my name, he's like Ellie B.
I can hear him in his very robust, deep country voice calling your name. I love it.
Yeah.
You get in Aaron's box. And
I sang there, and then the second song I actually sang was The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert. Because I was like, all right, I'll just sing a country jam that he knows. And then somebody's lurking in the comments. I see you. Then I sang Fix You again. And then I sang my mental health song again. And I met Hoops on a whim.
Cool.
So I'm going to touch base on the mental health song really quick and then finish out my Meet Me journey, and then I'll sing my mental health song.
All right. You go for it.
So the mental health song, I actually wrote it in the month of May when I first started. And a viewer came into my stream and he was like, hey, I've been listening to you all week and I love the way your voice sounds. It's incredible. It's so even toned. And I'm just really happy that I'm here to listen to it. And, I tried to end my life 5 times. Mm-hmm. And I immediately, I relate. I went through the self-harm. I went through the suicidal thoughts. So I related to this viewer. And first I acknowledged him right away and I said, you're so brave and I commend you for coming in here and feeling comfortable enough for telling me this. Mm-hmm. So then it got me thinking, what if I wrote a song about how suicide isn't the answer? And at first it started out as an improv. And what improv is, it means like you're just kind of making things up as you go along and going with the flow. But then I started to build it up more and I was like, guys, I'm going to cut my stream. I got a lot of work to do. So I cut my stream off. And then the rest is history.
Sure. So you've got the song. This is a song, and the meaning of it is that suicide's not the answer. And that's how this conversation started. You asked if we could cover it, and I said, "Yep, definitely." So sounds like something that's valuable. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to hear the song again, and I think everyone in here would love to hear you sing. So if you'd like to go ahead and take it away.
Definitely. It is called Your Struggles Will Perish. And, in my opinion, you're going to go through big and small struggles. Those smaller struggles, the small ones are the ones that are going to perish.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger ones that we're going to face, those are the ones that are going to really help shape you into who you are. So that's what this song is all about.
Excellent.
For some reason, one of my strings got bumped down half a note. Hang on.
It has to. That's the only way that something can happen. You know, in real time when things are live, it's the only way for things to happen.
Holy moly. It got dropped down like a lot.
Played in drop D. Give us your best growl and heavy, harsh vocals. Just no.
Oh my goodness. I'm actually quite surprised that this happens because normally.
I was just joking. I was about like what a heavy metal vocalist would play and sing in. So someone was.
Holy moly! Wow, that really.
I'll tell you what. While you're tuning the guitar, do you want to tell us where the bow thing came from?
Yeah.
Or is it in tune?
No. It's almost there. So I will tell you about how the bow started. This is a C, not an E. Anyway, man, sorry guys. I usually.
It's good. Just go ahead and roll. Just go ahead and roll with it. And
Yeah. So one day I was having a bad hair day, and I think I put this one in. And yeah, I definitely put this one in. And one of my viewers came in and he was like, "Hey, I like it." And I was like, I look like I'm 16. No. And he said in the comments, "No, keep it. Just keep it." And I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, just keep it. Just see how it goes."
That is as good of a story as I could have expected about a bow. No, it's excellent. And now you have a collection. Which is fantastic.
Well, and some people, they love to spam the comments with the bows, which leads me to season 6 of Mimi's Got Talent. I made it into the final top 3, and I made it into the final top 3, and a lot of people were spamming the chat. I swear, the night of the finale, nobody could get a word and say, because if they even said like one thing, some of my friends were crazy, and the bows filled up this much.
Sure. It sounds like the guitar's in tune.
It is.
Excellent.
That was so
let's
weird.
go jump that song. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot better. I was like, something's not right now. So yeah.
I got you.
But yeah, guys, this is Your Struggles Will Perish.
All right.
Don't know when the storm will end. The rain keeps falling down even when the sun is out. At the end of each day, the colors of the rainbow have something stuck in the ground. You feel miserable and you'll never be found. The voices in your head tell you to be dead, but I promise you, your words are left unsaid. Giving up, you fall to your knees. It feels like the end is near, but there's so much more to see. People in your life are forgiving, they accept you as you are. No matter what we go through, in the sky we're shining stars. Even though you want to disappear, even though you don't want to be here, you are loved and cherished. Your struggles will perish. Oh, the definition of time is more than people think. Sometimes we feel like we're living on a ship that will sink, but the anchor of our life is friends and family that'll help break the cycle of being emotional and weak. People in your life are forgiving, they accept you as you are. No matter what we go through, in the sky we're shining stars. Even though you want to disappear, even though you don't want to be here, you are loved and cherished. Your struggles will perish. Your struggles will perish.
That's a really sweet song.
Oh my god, thank you guys. Guys, thank you for all the gifts. Oh my god.
Very nice lyricism. For the people who would like to get some more of you and have an opportunity to talk and hear more of your singing and conversations, when do you go live? When can they catch you?
So, I'm usually pretty good at sending out blast when I do, but mostly I do a lot of nightly streams now, just because I'm back to work full time. So sometimes it can vary between the hours of 6-ish through 10, 11 for now.
What time zone? What time zone?
Eastern Standard Time.
Excellent.
And yeah, on the weekends, I'm pretty good at doing some afternoon and nightly streams, especially on Saturdays when I can recharge a little bit.
Got it.
And guys, I'm also a judge on season 7 of Mimi's Got Talent. It's I'm so humbled and honored that I'm back so soon, but it's also pretty neat to be on the other side of a different perspective. And I have reiterated to the contestants from start to finish, all the way from the second round of auditions to the very first round. I let them know that they're not alone. I'm here for them. And I've been in their shoes, and I know how it feels to have the mentality of bringing something new to the table each week and really playing around with your range and focusing in on the critiques that you've been given, and having fun and just totally being yourself.
Awesome. Well, people will definitely look forward to catching you then. So
yeah, I'm also. I will admit though, I'm at, where am I? So you saw me on Sunday on Unstoppable Idol, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I literally I was so shocked because the next morning I jumped from 2K something to 3K something favorites.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the growth's real for you. So if anyone here wants to be part of the growth, if you want to hear more of Melly B's music and her energy and her conversations, please give her a favorite. Melly, thank you so much for jumping on tonight and talking about it.
Absolutely. I would love and be honored to earn a top badge by end of summer or midsummer. It's something that I'm really passionate for. And the Meet Me app has truly changed my life immensely, inside the app and outside. And Chris, you're absolutely incredible, and thank you so much for having me here.
That's really nice of you. Thank you very much. No, I mean, pleasure's mine. I mean, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have amazing stories to. Well, I'm not even the one sharing them. I'm just the one sitting here. So, if it weren't for you, there really wouldn't be anything. So I owe it to you. I owe it to you, and namaste high tonight. So, so much love and appreciation. So everyone, make sure that you help Melly be here. She's on her journey to that top badge, and I think it would be well deserved. All right. So thank you so much, Melly, for being on tonight. I appreciate it.
So much love to you and utter respect. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot. Well, right back at you. All right. We'll see you next time, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Bye. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show tonight. That's the show. We were still able, we went a little bit longer with Namaste High and with Melly B. We just went a little bit longer, and we were able to fill the full hour and a half. It worked out great. So my name's Chris. This is something we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have interest in being featured, please give me a message on Instagram. People, I believe, have been plugging my Instagram down at the bottom. Otherwise, if you don't have it, it's spelled just like how it is here, Chris Casper. Thank you for the parrot. Thank you so much to the gifters. Real quick, big shout out to these gifters. To Hoops for causing all the static. To Joshy Boy for just being Joshy Boy. Kenny Wayne for being the he's the boss. Idol, Nicole, Kiki, King, Dolly, Namaste, Roxy, Machu, Trina, and then that goes below 100 diamonds. So thank you so much to all the people who gifted today. Much love, much love, much love. I will see you Friday for the rundown. It's a new show. Every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we talk about contest updates, app features, updates, gifts, and new top badge announcements. Badges are announced in real time. If the badge is present in the live, they get to box up and get shouted out from the Meet Me official account. This show happens from the Meet Me official account. I don't do it from my account. I do it from the app official account. It's pretty cool. So I will see you then. There's a few other shows I'll shout out to. I would like to plug really quick. There is on Tuesday 2 shows that you should be tuning into. The first one is Beyond Magic with Bob. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're checking out Beyond Magic with Bob Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Hoops, what time is your show? 8? There's also 7 p. It's at 7 p.m. I gotta fix this. All right, 7 p.m. They're both the exact same time. That is something that that is not ideal. All right, 7 p.m. are both of those shows. Let's figure out something. And then what else was the other one that I'm talking? Oh yeah, every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is a Love Connection show, 12 p.m. Pacific time, is with Perfect Flaw right there, who has a blind date show that you should definitely be checking out. So Love is Blind, is that the name that? Yes, Love is Blind. That's the name that Love is Blind every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My notes are not here. So make sure you check that out, okay? Much love. Appreciate all of you very much. I look forward to seeing you the next time. Take care. Treat each other with respect. Bye.